What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and this might be one of the worst things I've ever seen a company come out and do. I mean, on the channel here, we've covered so many different topics from all kinds of different things, but I don't know if there's necessarily been one where, like, a company has even come close to doing something like this. This is just horrible. You may have already seen this if you're active over on Twitter. This has gone semi-viral over there, so I mean, yeah, it's something that a lot of people already know about, but I feel like this is something that I should talk about in a video and kind of expose to a wider audience. Now, I saw a tweet from this YouTube user, Vito, who kind of exposed this entire story, and that's where I got this whole thing from, but you're gonna see here, there's an article on this, I think is Facebook. He lost his bride-to-be in a tragic crash. A company he hired for the big day is refusing to refund him and is threatening a lawsuit. So it turns out, okay, the backstory behind this guy was about to have a wedding, okay, and he, of course, wanted some videographers. That's a pretty normal thing to do, to want to record your wedding, and he hired these expensive people called Copper Stallion Media. That was the company that he had picked to basically film his wedding, and he signed a non-refundable contract when he put down an $1,800 deposit in order to, I guess, get this whole thing going, get the show on the road, or whatever you want to call it here. But unfortunately, before the wedding, his bride, his fiancée, was killed in a car accident. So obviously no wedding was going to happen, there was no need for the videographers anymore, so he apparently went to the company to try and actually get the whole thing refunded considering the circumstances, and they told him no.
I read your contract and I understand it's non-refundable, but have you guys ever heard of decency at all? Like, you guys are disgusting. I hope your company burns to the ground.
People are disgusting. You should refund that couple. Justin Motley lost his wife. There's no wedding that you are going to be able to go to, you stupid. You're not putting anything forth. You're not going to be at the wedding to photograph anything. You're not going to be at the wedding to videograph anything. Why the fuck do you still need that money? Refund this couple, you disgusting bastards.
So this guy went to the media, which is what you just saw, to talk about the whole situation and to kind of expose this company for it, and then this is how the company responded on social media. Today would have been the day where we would have filmed Justin and Alexis's wedding in Colorado Springs. After what Justin pulled with the media stunt to try and shake us down for a refund, we hope you sob and cry all day for what would have been your wedding day. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Now, I understand that technically he was not obligated to a refund. I mean, he signed a contract that was non-refundable. I get that. But I think the best move morally and honestly for your company is to have just have refunded that money, you know? The good PR that could have came from refunding someone their money in that kind of situation would have paid dividends. And at the end of the day, $1,800, that's like what the whole issue is over here. This company couldn't make $1,800 to replace that. But I understand technically, you know, that's how the whole thing broke down. But for them to have gone publicly and basically spit in this guy's face and to mock a dead woman for something so petty is absolute scummy shit. I can't believe that a company would even do this. Like, let's not even think about it in like a company perspective. Imagine that you're the person who does this, right? That like your reaction to someone passing away tragically, who was supposed to be one of your customers, might I add, and for you to mock them like that publicly on your social media, what the fuck are you thinking? But even from like a company perspective, it wouldn't make sense, because who is ever going to hire this company ever again? Not only after that story had broke, like what company, you know, would ever get business after something like that. That's kind of like a career devastation move, but there is no chance in hell people are going to be hiring you to be videographers after you say something like this. I mean, just, it's horrible, right? To just basically openly mock this person who's already dealing with tragic shit, you know? Their wife just died. And all over $1,800. So of course this company got a lot of backlash for this, right? It wasn't like this news story didn't, you know, garner any attention. So people openly shit on this media company for this. I mean, for their post, for everything that had happened, they got a lot of backlash. And I think rightfully so, because, I mean, after the way that they handled this, I mean, they deserve to be shit on, you know? But It goes further, which is awful to say, and it's weird to say, but it goes further. So they post this long note on Facebook where essentially they detail that their client experience manager, Allison Davis, had taken her own life. They detail that their company was subject to a big smear campaign on social media over this whole thing. And they say that online bullying is real, and they basically make the claim that Allison took her own life because of all of the negative reception that this company got due to their own actions. So not only did they basically try to pin this woman's suicide on a whole internet beef, but what's even worse, and what's the most disgusting thing about that in particular, this woman had apparently killed herself 2 years prior to this whole situation. So it turns out that this company, they essentially bullied this dude online. They made fun of his dead fucking fiance. Okay, they basically taunted him for having his money and it being non-refundable, but then pinned the suicide of an employee 2 years prior onto a negative PR experience that this company got. And they did it in the attempts that people would back off and apologize. Let's be honest. They very obviously did this in order to try and shut shit down with the whole hate that they were getting. That, I think, is truly unforgivable and absolutely disgusting. I mean, how does that even come to mind, right? Like, an employee of yours already has tragically taken their life years ago, but you want to dig that grave up and try and use the body as a shield, essentially hoping that people weren't going to figure out that this happened in the past and that it wasn't relevant to this situation so that they could try and pin this on this guy. You gotta be a real fucking scumbag, you know what I'm saying? That's just, it's horrible. That's, I don't even know how you could do that and think that that's an okay thing to do, but this isn't the end of it. That is psychotic for me to say that this is not the end of it. This already feels like it's gone on far enough. But the company then redirected their company website to the guy's name, JustinMontneyWedding.com. So basically, after all that they did, they take the guy's name who tragically lost his fiancée, but they then take this guy's name and essentially make a website dedicated to smearing his name. I mean, you can see it right here. That picture, it freaks me out. It's bewildering to see this whole thing. They essentially say that they want to sue him on this website. They bring all of that up and a bunch of email exchanges and whatnot, which I'm not necessarily sure how they expect to be able to sue this guy after they quite literally made a website about him, faked a suicide on Facebook, and then made a bunch of just ridiculous posts about him and his wife on social media. How can you really expect for a court to side with you in a defamation case, you know? It's not his fault that people decided to give you negative reception because you didn't refund him, okay? It isn't like he set up a bunch of bot accounts or anything like that. However, you know, this still did not stop. As a matter of fact, they changed their Yelp business name to his as well. It's so fucked up, you know? I don't understand who or why you would do anything like this. This whole situation wasn't that serious. Keep in mind, this is all over a $1,800 deposit. This guy's essentially ruined his business. I mean, nobody wants to do business with this company ever again. I mean, they're essentially out of business as far as I'm concerned. There's no way they're ever going to get enough business to keep going. But it turns out that this company actually has quite a history. There are claims online that the guy who runs Copper Stallion Media has not only been sued several times before for essentially scamming customers, but has also apparently been using aliases and different company names in order to keep himself in the business. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer here. I've tried to independently verify a lot of this information and see if any of it actually adds up. As of right now, the only thing that I can see that adds up is that Copper Stallion Media is supposedly headquartered in Dallas, Texas, which is, I guess, within the realm of imagination of a lawsuit that happened in Dudley. I haven't been able to verify the owner's name or any of his aliases or anything like that. So, as of right now, this is kind of just rumors, but there have been lawsuits against a photographer by the name of Jesse Clark, and he was accused of scamming more than 90 people, or 90 couples out of payments for their videos that they never actually even recorded or delivered on. He's apparently also run online wedding businesses despite having jail sentences and probation periods. So if this turns out to be true, this guy has already got a long history of essentially just being a piece of shit who will run businesses into the dirt and then start over in a new place with a new name. And given the situation, I wouldn't even be totally surprised. It really wouldn't surprise me if that's what was going on here. However, as of right now, these are kind of unfounded, and people are just kind of drawing comparisons and maybe depending on a couple coincidental pieces of evidence. So, regardless, this whole situation is shitty, and this company should be ashamed of themselves, even though they're not and they don't care. They should be. But with all of that being said, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below for fresh official Optimus merch. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not being this piece of shit, and signing out.